Pre-stream mic test. How's my audio sound, guys? I adjusted some things and did some testing. Hopefully it sounds pretty good. It is, at least to my satisfaction. I hope it is to yours. Good for you. Thank you, Glacier. And here we go. Greetings, champions. Welcome to Mars Guiding Hand. I am Mars, and this is Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, a free-to-play, officially licensed Dungeons & Dragons formation strategy game from Codename Entertainment. On this partner stream, we take a look at the latest content, discuss strategies, and answer any questions that you may have about the game. So grab a drink or a snack. I have tea, coffee, and water, as I pretty much always do. And join us for just a couple of hours as we take a deeper look at all things Idle Champions. Today is April 29th, 2020, Wednesday. And on this 16th episode, we'll be talking about the running event, Year 3, same as last week. About Kreidel, the half-elf rogue, our latest champion. And the return of Catti and Spurt from previous years, as well as answering any questions that you may have. So, let's get started. As you can see, I'm currently in a Mad Wizard run. Gotta do those patron grinds, you know. Gotta do my chores for Mom, Dad, and Uncle Strahd. So let's finish this up, because what I actually want to do, I should have enough now to get my time gate piece for Strahd as of this run. What I actually want to do on today's stream, I'm going to do a couple things. I have enough event tokens to do a couple of runs. So the first thing I want to do is kind of give an example of what doing a free play run, like just to get the chest and get out, looks like when you have like all the speed champions. Because some players out there might not know like how quickly this actually goes once you have everybody. Ah, hey Sean, ding dong. Good to have you, buddy. Glad you're here. Supply, will the next patron be an aunt, uncle, grandparent, or older cousin? I don't know, but I'm very excited to find out. Alright, so I'm going to... I have my speed formation saved on slot 1 for pretty much every campaign, event, patron, everything. It's always like saved on slot 1 is my speed formation. So I'm just going to choose all of the speed specs that I need in order to go fast. I think the only one I have left to grab is the one for Melf. Don't have enough favor to get his specialization on stage 1 just yet. I have a headache, by the way, so if I seem a little off today, that's why. I get headaches on rainy days, and it rained last night, so blech. Okay, we already have a question in from Vasago. Hello, thank you for joining us. I have a question. Earlier on Gar's stream, he mentioned that getting a shiny works its bonus based on that item's current item level, meaning that waiting until it's a high item level gives you a bigger bonus than if you do it at a lower level. Does that mean getting a shiny when it's a lower level does not add the double effect for every item level after that the item gains. I don't know. My gut reaction is no. Like, you don't lose value for getting a shiny early on as opposed to later. It should just be like the multiplier, just the percentage increase, and that'll just continue to grow. Oh, Garwar is here. Okay, fantastic. Good to see you, Gar. Okay, Garwar's tackling it, thank you. Someone asked if my Briv is in the wrong spot. Yes, but not for his speed effect, which is his ability to leap over stages and skip them entirely. But I'll go ahead and move Briv if it makes you feel better. Sentry is also in the wrong spot, but I don't really care about her tanking abilities. I only care about her redshift and echo resolution. This is just to go through an event free play to show like how quickly you can actually do these runs just to get your chest and get out and reset and go again. I've already done all the event variants this time around. Sometimes I save them for the stream, but I went ahead and finished them all. And instead, after we do this initial speed run, I'm going to do another run of a Kreidel free play, and I am going to take a look at setting up Kreidel DPS and going as far as we can with that. Probably won't be able to reach my absolute wall live on stream, but I will post about it later in the Discord and Twitter when it's done. I'm glad that you got your question answered, Basago, since it was kind of more for Garwar anyway. Eukane, you can get to 51 in about 14-15 minutes. Yeah, likewise. It really just depends on like how many speed champions you have and which ones you have. And of course your favor, because the higher you can get your favor up, the sooner you can get all of your upgrades and specializations. And thus, the earlier on in your run, you can get all of your speed mechanics turned on. Howdy, Jerbear. Glacier, I include Briv in all of my saved speed formations, but that doesn't necessarily mean that I actually use him for all of the speed formations, because like right now he doesn't have enough stacks of his unnatural haste. He's at 49. He needs at least 50 for this to proc whatsoever, to trigger it all. So he's not really doing any of his speed right now, so this formation could be better if I had simply built up his speed stacks prior to this run. So however fast this goes, assume it could actually go faster. And that's true anyway, because both Briv and Melf have gear slots that actually affect their speed boost. Oh, my chess code isn't showing. I forgot to show that. Hey, guys. I have a chess code for you this week. Of course, as I always do. And the chess code, let's see. What's my story this time? You guys know I like tea, right? Well, I love bubble tea a lot. And I'm sad that I can't like go out to get bubble tea right now, but that's okay. It's not essential. I look forward to the day when I can do that again. So I really love bubble tea, and hold on. I just need to very quickly just glance at it again. Okay. So, I really love bubble tea. I also love Mad Max Fury Road. It's a great movie. So I watched Mad Max Fury Road the other day, and I fell asleep. And I had a dream. And it was all about, like, Mad Max and Fury Road and bubble tea. So it was like I was Mad Max. And all of the crazy vehicles we were driving operated on bubble tea, specifically. Like, that was their fuel. So, yeah, it was basically Boba Fuel Road. There you go. I had to change the spelling of road for my joke, of course, but there's your code. Enjoy. I think I'll go ahead and get that now. By the way, if you haven't actually seen that movie, it really is good. That's not a joke. It did make me smile when I noticed that my code this week had boba in it. I'm like, ah, bubble tea. That's nice. Exactly, Mad Max, Boba Fuel Road. Alright, no incredible Sean luck this time, unfortunately. Not like Garwar had. I saw that clip, Garwar. That's crazy. 5 feats in 50 gold chests? That's nuts. I need to save up gold chests. And, well, I guess silver chest and gems, too. Yeah, it would be... It's always a lot of fun to save up a ton of chests and gems and open them all up on my stream. 9 feats and a shiny? Oh my gosh. That's crazy. Wow. Oh, there's the pop-up. Thank you, as always, Codename Entertainment, for this wonderful opportunity that you have bestowed upon me to have my official share. Ho ho. I like that you kind of called me out on that on Twitter, Sean, saying like, oh, you can't give me all the luck. Yeah. Now spread the luck around. Yeah, give some to Garwar, give some to everybody. Alright, when this is over, we're going to reset, and we're going to go into a deeper run using Kreidel DPS, and at that point, I'm going to talk about Kreidel and other people as well. I'm actually going to be using Catti and Spurt in the formation so that we can also talk about them. Oh, now we're getting people coming in from the in-game alert. Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Welcome to Mars Guiding Hand. I'm Mars. Haha. Perhaps you've heard of me. Perhaps you've seen my works. Chris the Nerd, what's the word on Kreidel? Drop contracts for his gear or Catti? I'd say Catti. I'd say focus more on Catti. Hey, Jad. Good to see you, buddy. I like Kreidel. But I do feel like... I do feel like Catti and Spurt are going to be, like, more widely useful. Zeke! The tea of the day? Chocolate mint with honey. It's very nice. Fyron asks if I can explain how Briv works as a healer. Yeah, I could probably do that. Let's see. Do you mind if I do that in my next run? Because this one's about to end. Like, right at 50, I'm going to reset. Basically, when Briv comes under attack, then, like, he starts, like, counting how much damage he's taken or, like, time that's gone on. And then he heals, like, the entire formation. Or rather, Flo, the Flump, in battle armor, which is glorious. I love that. Flubbergem, I noticed most people running Gromma over Spurt. Is it worth spending lots of time gearing him? Gearing Spurt, you mean? I mean, I would say so. I think Spurt's a lot of fun. Bring the hammer down. Smash that kobold. Smash that like and subscribe button. No, smash the kobold. Here's this really cool boss. I wish we had more of this. This, like, invincible until its summoned mobs are destroyed health bar. It's really cool. Have you ever noticed the spiders on the ends here? Because like she's like a drow matriarch, so it's very like thematically on point. Boom, gone. Instantly deleted as soon as that invincibility was removed. All right, and that's it. I'm just gonna reset this now, and we'll see how fast this was. Skip. 15 minutes. Awesome. So that's 15 minutes to do a run with all speed champions and their speed specs, with the exception of like Briv's speed mechanic not actually working because I didn't have any of his haystacks enabled. And now we're going to go back in and do another Kreidel run, but this time I'm going to be setting up Kreidel DPS. Wait, hold on. Did anyone see that? They're spawning backwards! What? Why? Even the name was backwards. What happened there? Wait, there it is again! Oh my gosh, that's amazing! Welcome to the mirror world! Thanks, Sean! Oh man, that's fantastic. I know we just wiped on stage 1, but that was worth it. That's hilarious. Oh boy, it's like getting the upside down parrots again. Oh, can we keep this bug for a while, please? Don't fix this one, please. I love it. It's so good. Oh, I want to see it one more time, and then I'll set everything up. Please. Yes! Oh man, that's fantastic. Oh boy, please somebody clip that so you can show other people that happened. Oh gosh, that was fun. Oh, I love that. I've been playing, and it's the first time that I've noticed it. Although I usually have my familiars out instantly killing everything, so that may be why I haven't noticed. Okay, sorry, I missed a lot of chat there, but, oh, you got it fixed, ready to go? Aw, oh, dang, Sean. Okay, that's fine. At least I got to enjoy it live on stream. That was really nice. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna scroll up a little bit. Hey, Alan Talent, you just started playing, and you want to say that you really love the game. It's awesome. That's fantastic. Welcome to Idle Champions. Join the community. Join the Discord. Do I play D&D or only the idle version, DJ8899? I play D&D a heck of a lot. My main group currently is just like a group of cool teens that I run games for. We finished Tomb of Annihilation after like a year and a half. It was really good. Okay. I'm going to start by, actually, no. I don't want to set up all my speed champions, but I will take some time to go over Briv real quick because there was a request to explain Briv's healing ability. Okay, so I'm just going to start by reading through it. Healing Flow. Briv's pet Flump Flow appears next to Briv and telepathically stores healing power whenever Briv is hit. So you want Briv in your tank line for Briv's healing mechanic to work at all. And you generally want him on your tank line anyway if you're going to be using him at all. He is a tank. That's what he's supposed to be used for. After 10 hits or 10 seconds, whichever one comes first, Flow heals all champions in the party for 50% of the damage Briv took during that time. This can actually be increased. I think it was discovered a few weeks ago. Garwar, if you're still here, you probably remember. We figured out that, like, with Patron Perks and something else. Was it Sentry being information? Something like that. There's a trick to getting. Oh, and his specialization. Yeah. There's a trick to getting his healing to be like 100%. Thank you, Garwar. Yes, perk up from Mert, and Bribs go with the flow spec. Takes it over 100%. Fantastic. Okay, so let me see what I want to use here. I set up like a test formation, just to think about like how I want to do this. So we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna put in Dragonbait, and I'm gonna put in Turiel. Okay. I want Tyrell, and I want him over here. I want Neris as a member of Baldur's Gate, anyway. And I want Hitch, yes. And I want Caddybree, yes. I want Spurt, yes. Kreidel, of course, the star of the show. And Shandy. Now let me just move people around. Alright, and I don't actually want Briv. I'm going to put in Xander. I don't use Xander enough. Hey, you're welcome for the code, Salami. Hope that you got something good out of it. Alright, let me move some people around. Is this... I think this is what I wanted. Zeke, I already did the joke. It was, I had a dream about Mad Max Fury Road where the cars were all, fueled by bubble tea, and thus it was Mad Max Boba Fuel Road. There you go, there's your reprisal of the joke. Okay, I'm going to take Moonbeam because I have Tyrell here with only a single champion adjacency. So that's maximum Moonbeam potential. I'm going to take Hitch's Charismatic. I'm going to take Caddybrie's In the Zone. Kreidel specializations, we'll go more in depth about like exactly how Kreidel works. But basically left spec is DPS, right spec is support. So he's my DPS, I'm going to do close-up magic. I'm going to take Kellenvor's Will for Neris. Spurt is right next to Kreidel, so I'll take Kobold Family, because I don't think I'll need Centipult. I'll take Follow Closely for Xander. And for Shandy, I'll just take Alchemist Fire. Right, for Dragonbait, I'm going to take his Scent Roasted Chicken, because I do have some good distance between Kreidel, my DPS of choice, and Dragonbait. And then I'll take, actually, how many Lawfuls do I have in this formation right now? 3, 4, okay, yeah. Basically, like, I think more than 2 you want to take left spec Lawful for Turiel. I think that's what it is. Somebody calculated this like months ago when Turiel first came out. You almost always want to take left spec, I think. Okay. Sebrick, you got a non-pity purple. What'd you get from my chest? What was it? I always want to hear about like what specifically you got. If it was an epic or a feat or a shiny, I want to know. Oh my gosh, you're right. Okay. Somebody pointed out I don't have enough healers in the formation. Yeah, I've got Tyrell, I've got Neris. Yeah. But in this position, Dragonbait should be able to reach Kreidel now. 1, 2, 3. Okay. You're welcome, Steven. Arctic Wastes, you're very welcome. You're full epic on Dragonbait now. Fantastic. I landed full epic on Dragonbait the day that I unlocked him, because I saved up 60 gold chests to guarantee it. Why Xander? Well, partly just because I feel like it. but also because he's a rogue, and because his charisma is in the range of 12 to 16, because all of that has to do with Kreidel's game mechanics. I'm not going for an optimal formation here. I'm just going for a fun formation that shows off Kreidel DPS. Dancing Penguins, you got the Resilient feat for Briv. Fantastic. That's great. I love hearing everybody chime in about what you guys got. Okay, so now that we are actually in this, going through, let me put familiars on things. Yeah. Alright, cool. Sure, good enough. Well, almost. Nah, it's fine. Hit Shade. Do you use beard oil to care for that gorgeous mane? Oh, well, thank you. I actually use a product called Beard Butter. And for the life of me, if I had to tell you like what exactly it was made of off the top of my head, I couldn't. I don't remember. But yeah, no, I just I care for it. I groom my beard. But I don't go crazy on using products. No, it's not like actual butter. No. Please don't envision I'm just like slathering my face in actual butter. Oh, that's disgusting. Oh, I shouldn't have answered the question. Anyway. Alright, let's talk about Kreidel. By the way, if I haven't answered your question, if you asked a question earlier and I didn't get to it, apologies. But just say it again. I will eventually notice. Sorry. Alright, Kreidel. You hero of Baldur's Gate, now that that's fixed. Last week, his affiliation was still listed as none, but all good now. A scoundrel, a swashbuckler, and a schemer. Kreidel pretends he's not a hero, but somehow keeps finding himself on the side of light alongside his Baldur's Gate companions. And that is specifically Delina, Kreidel, Minsk, Neris, and Shandy. You can see anyone who belongs to an affiliation by hovering over the affiliation with your cursor. Despite all of his protests, Kreidel is courageous when the chips are down and willing to sacrifice anything to save his newfound adventuring family. Kreidel is a chaotic good DPS support half-elf rogue. In my opinion, he's better as a support than as a DPS, but he's still just cool. Like, I like his character design, and I enjoy that we almost have enough rogues now to have an entirely rogue formation. That's how I tried to theory craft the formation to run Kreidel DPS. It's like, can I do a rogue in every spot? No, not yet. But probably soon-ish, I guess. Eventually. Rogues, I think, are the closest to that being a possibility. So, Kreidel is pretty much all about looking at your charisma scores on all of your champions in the formation. That would be the Cha score that's right down here in the bottom left of a character sheet. As well as how many rogues you have, and your members of the Heroes of Baldur's Gate affiliation, and if people are specifically in the back two columns. So, Kreidel's From the Shadows ability is his first mechanic that you unlock at level 50, which increases the damage of all champions in the back two columns of the formation by X%, which is doubled on Heroes of Baldur's Gate, including Kreidel himself, which is why I have Kreidel in this column right here. So that he's in one of the back two columns, but he's in front of Shandy and Caddybree, so that they can effectively buff him. Next is Charismatic Leader, which is my favorite mechanic that Kreidel has. Kreidel provides buffs based on the charisma scores of other champions in the formation. This breaks down into two, like, sub-buffs, I guess. where the first one is Lead with Flair, and this is all about his own damage, so it's a DPS character. And the second one, Wild Cards, is all about buffing other people, so it's his like supporting ability. Lead with Flair, Kreidel's damage is increased by 100% for each champion in the formation with a charisma score of 12 to 16. And because I'm trying to set this up as a Kreidel DPS formation, many of the champions in this formation fall in that range, so that they can like more efficiently buff his Lead with Flair. Wild Cards is that he buffs other champions with a charisma score of 11 and lower, like Minsk, or 17 and higher, like Delana, by X%. Next is Thieves' Cant, which increases the effect of his Charismatic Leader that we just talked about by 100% multiplicatively for each rogue in the formation, which is why we have a lot of rogues. Xander is a rogue. Shandy is a rogue. Hitch is a rogue. Spurt is a rogue. Kreidel himself is a rogue. For his specialization, which I did just a few minutes ago in case you missed that, I took Close-Up Magic, the left spec, because that's his DPS spec. The other option, the one on the right, is for his supporting capability. And that pretty much sums it up for his abilities. His base attack is he strikes a random enemy, which is interesting. It's not that he attacks the closest like many targets, and he doesn't attack the one in the back like several of our rogues do. He attacks a random target, which I have to wonder if maybe that means that Kreidel might see some more like uses in like the niche challenges like Durable Deep, where like the sarcophagus and torch levels where you just need to hit things that aren't at the front of the formation. Kreidel at least has a better chance of being helpful there. I see some people talking about like other rogue ideas, like concepts in the chat, and oh boy, yeah, I would love a rogue tank, like an evasion tank. Give me a rogue that has uncanny dodge. The 5th edition mechanic version of it, where like, as a reaction, rogues can just decide, actually, I take half damage from that. Thanks. Yeah, do that. Use that as the seed for a rogue tank, please. Gerbear, I went Spurt over Artemis, yeah, because I don't want this to turn into an Artemis DPS formation. I could use Artemis. Artemis is a rogue and has a charisma that's good for Kreidel. But I don't want to actually set up Artemis DPS. I want to set up Kreidel DPS. I want that spiritual weapon to stay on Kreidel. Well, Stressed Out, if you like the idea of a rogue that uses smoke bombs, we have one. Because that's what Kreidel does with his attack. After he attacks that random enemy that I just talked about, he also sneaks a smoke powder bomb onto their person, which explodes after 3 seconds. Yeah, Catti-Brie's not a rogue. Catti-Brie's a fighter. But I still like Catti-Brie. Not just for her extremely useful Mark for Death ability, but her skin is so cool. I just love that skin. The Vampire Catti-Brie skin, which you can get from the Patron shop. From Strahd. I like it a lot. It's nice seeing the theory crafting happening in the chat about formations. Oh, Sean has an idea. Alright, hear me out. Dwarf, 3rd level barbarian, the rest rogue. With Dwarven Fortitude feat so they can use a hit die on dodge, equipped with a periaptive wound closure. Whoa, that's cool. Actually, one of my best friends played a dwarven rogue who was basically a pirate for like a 2-year campaign, and it was an excellent character. Love that. He went assassin subclass. I remember he got 2 assassinates like back to back one time because reasons, and it was just an insane amount of damage. that memory really stuck out to me. It was some boss fight, and he just absolutely wrecked it before anyone could even take a turn. It was great. His name was Navasir. Oh, we should open the Kreidel chest that we got. Come on, shiny! Oh, no, come on. I have actually received 1 natural event champion shiny ever in like 14,000 hours of playing this game. It was Birdsong slot 3. During Birdsong's event, one of her chests, opened it up, and it had a natural shiny for Birdsong. It's the only time I've ever seen that on my own account. Any of the other like event champion shinies that you see on my account here are like from Potions of Polish or whatever. I've probably had more tea and coffee than that. Well, more tea at least. Honestly, I've probably had less coffee than that. I really don't have much coffee. Oh, Mark Allen, you got a natural shiny for Rosie slot 6. Oof. Yikes. Aw, baby league. Oh, I appreciate you saying this. Mars, being dyslexic, reading Game Champ stuff is difficult. Watching you in the other streams and hearing and seeing stuff live has really helped me figure stuff out. Thanks for doing these. You're welcome. I love this game, and oh my god, the boss is backwards. That's incredible. Ugh. Sorry. Heartfelt moment. Still, I love this game, and I think that accessibility and inclusivity is very important in every community and in all media. So I am happy and proud to be able to contribute to making like this thing that I love more accessible and inclusive for people who might struggle with it in whatever ways. Crocus Maximus, Jarlaxle keeps turning backwards. Yeah, he's always done that. As far back as I can remember, Jarlaxle has always had this recurring bug where he just turns around and stays that way for a while. I love it. I hope it never gets fixed, personally. Oh, that's an interesting question, Seberic. Which side of the backwards boss would they backstab? Huh. Yeah, if someone's facing away from you, do you backstab them by walking up to them directly and not going around behind? Because then you'd be facing them and they'd be facing you. Huh. Weird. Lyra, well, the boss wanted to go easy on me, so they fought backwards. Yeah. Beliarial Tavabent. Deciding like, okay, you know what? You've kicked my butt like 100 times so far, but I'm gonna go easy on you this time. I'm gonna turn around. Sean, there is at least one prestige class, but for 5th edition, but it's from another Arcana. No, like, official release. What was it, the Rune Master? Or something like that? I've seen a player take it one time. And honestly, meh. I didn't like it. Okay. Jadisero prestige classes are from, like, older editions. Like, 3rd edition had ton of prestige classes. But in 5th edition, there's only one, and it's an Arcana from a long time ago. Like, they had the idea, like, maybe we'll do prestige classes, but then they didn't. They just had the one, and wasn't popularly received. But prestige classes were all over 3rd edition and 3.5. There are hundreds of them. Okay, kind of a lull in the chat here, which is fine. So I'm going to take the opportunity to go over some of the other things that we have out here. I want to talk about Catibri and Spurt as the returning champions from years 1 and 2 of the running event. Yay. Catibri is the year 1, and Spurt is the year 2 champion. I have them both at 100%. I don't actually have my Kreidel personal achievement unlocked yet. I've just been lazy about that. Alright, let's start with Catibri, since I was kind of hyping her up earlier, talking about how much I like using her and using the skin. Catibri is a kind, tolerant, and pragmatic warrior. She has spent much of her life adventuring with the legendary Companions of the Hall, accompanying Dritz Doerden, Brunor Battlehammer, Regis, and Wolfgar on numerous escapades. As the moral compass of the group, Catibri helps guide her companions to wise actions through common sense and clear insight. She wields the legendary bow Talmoril, which shoots silver arrows. I don't think it's still that bow in this skin, as like the bow itself has changed here. It has this glorious red string. It looks so good. Love that. I usually don't like red, but I think it works really well here. Anyway, Catibri is a chaotic good human fighter, a DPS and support character. Kind of like, not you, Kreidel, who is also DPS and support. So, for Catibri, she starts with powerful draw. She deals additional damage to enemies the further they are from the formation. So it's a percentage increase based on how far away they are, all the way up to like 100% increase if they were right at the spawn point. So like where things are dying currently over here, right here, that's maximum boost to her damage. But that's only going to matter if you're using her as DPS, and I'm not currently. Critical hit. It was so exciting when they added Catibri, and they added, like, oh my god, Idle Champions has a critical hit mechanic now! Wow! That was cool. Catibri's attack has a percentage chance, mine's over 100, great, to crit for a lot of bonus damage. But this is where she really shines, is Mark for Death, and then Death March. When Catibri hits an enemy, they take a lot more damage from all champions for 60 seconds. That's a long time in Idle Champions. During this time, if they get hit 10 times, they'll be stunned for 5 seconds. This is great for boss fights. You can just keep them stunned. Death March increases the damage to Catibri and champions ahead of Catibri by 25% for every marked for death enemy, as well as 25% for every enemy that has been stunned by marked for death. Ah, there's the pop-up again. Thank you, C&E. Appreciate it. Go away. In the zone, when Catibri gets a critical hit, her attack cooldown is reduced by 1.5 seconds for 10 seconds. This is her right choice specialization. This is what I go with if I'm using her as support. And, I mean, honestly, this is just what I go with for her all the time. I just prefer taking in the zone. Because the more often, like, when she gets a critical hit, she attacks faster for 10 seconds. The faster she's attacking, the more often she's applying Mark for Death. And I want that, so yes, I want her to attack faster. And then she has her Companions of the Hall affiliation ability. Take them down. Catibri increases the bounty of the Hall pool, gold find, by 100% multiplicatively, and if all enemies on the screen are marked, like during boss fights when the only thing left alive is the boss, enemies take 100% more damage per Companion of the Hall in formation. So the more companions you have out, the better that is. Giant Dwarf, yeah, she's the team mom. I suppose, yeah. Like being the moral compass and all. Jam Man J, oh hi! You started using Birdsong as your DPS for freshly unlocked Strahd variants, and even with 2 pieces of gear, she attacks so fast and clears really well. Yeah, Birdsong is fantastic now. She was great on release, and then she kind of fell out of popularity just as like other people got better. Like, other champions rolled out that were just better than Birdsong. But now she's been brought back up to speed, and she has this excellent witch skin. This Barovian witch skin, which is really good. That you get from Twitch drops a while ago. Michael USA, Mars, we heard Gar's take. Can we hear about the Mars versus Gar extravaganza? Oh my gosh. I don't see it as a versus, personally. I see it as a cooperative project for the illuminating of the Idle Champions experience for new players from the perspective of pro players. I don't see it as a versus, personally. Maybe Gar does, I don't know. Well, we were talking about it earlier in private chat. We're really excited about doing this cool idea we have of making new accounts together, like on the same day, and playing through content in the same order at the same pace, so that the difference is in our strategies and our luck. And then we'll talk about it each week. I'm excited about it. STW Jester, if you leave an adventure, can you come back to it? Yes. Well, okay. If you mean like closing the game. Like if I closed the game and reopened it, I would, depending on how much time I waited, I would either start like right back in if I open the game immediately, or offline progress would take me further if I'm able to go further. It will simulate your ability to like go, like how far were you able to reach during that time while you're offline, and it's like 1 minute per stage for progression. But if you mean like resetting your adventure, like going to completing an adventure and starting a different one, no. If you come back to this, you will not be at the stage that you left off on. Dancing Penguins, I'm so glad for both of you. I've learned much from your shows. Thank you both for doing this. Because of yours and Gar's advice, I was able to progress past 400 for the first time in this event. Round of applause for you, Dancing Penguins. Excellent, and you're very welcome. Congratulations. Oh, Patchatory. Hi there. Hi. You've only been playing this game for a little over a month. What champion should you prioritize with your time gate pieces? You have Krull. Okay, good. Deacon. Good. Ishii, Zorbu. Good. Cadibri. Good. Who should I aim for next? Avron. Get Avron. That would be this guy. Slot 11 Warlock dude. Extremely strong buffer in slot 11. But honestly, maybe like some other tanks like Ayla or Grama would also be good for you, just to give you more options. It can be difficult when you're early in the game doing like lots of different formation shapes. It's kind of like who you're using as a tank informs what your formation is going to look like, because a lot of tanks have like very important positional buffs. So having different tanks to choose from is going to be useful to you, especially because you already have an incredible DPS choice with Zorbu. And you have some really good buffers already with Cadibri and Krull that you mentioned. Sage Judgment. Any plans to release more Critical Role characters? I wish! I hope! Probably not. But I can't speak on any, like, official, statement of that. I'm not involved in the design process. I'm not responsible for making those kinds of decisions. I stream the game. And I'm a pillar of the community. But, yeah. I think what they've said over and over and over is that the Critical Role people, they're just too busy. They're just too busy to do something like this. We have Spurt, and hopefully that's good enough. Yeah, it's important, as Raven's voice says, if you're going to be using Zorbu DPS, that you farm kills for Zorbu. I'll show you my Zorbu, if anyone out there is curious how many kills I have on my guy. Here we go. Humanoid is 8 EO4. Oh, sure. Beast is 1 EO5. Undead is 4 EO4. Drow is just like 5,000. Barely any Drow, really. Okay. Chrislow at Twitch. Did not know that shiny equipment can also be drawn from silver chests. Is that true? Yes. Chances for sure very low, I suppose. It's 1 in 1,000 for any chest that gives gear. It's the same chance. All chests that give gear, I believe. What event did Shandy drop? Off the top of my head, I don't remember, but I have a very cool resource that you can use for that. If you type !CVA, you can go look at my Champions visual aid, which includes the list of all champions in the order that they were released for each event by each year. Thank you, Sean, for putting the link in there. And that is not currently updated for like the past couple of champions. I tend to update it like every, I don't know, every 3 champions released, roughly. Just because it's a lot of work. I know people appreciate my visual aids, but it's a lot of work to make them. Okay. We've gone over category. And honestly, category finds our way into most of my formations. Even without her, like, Companions of the Hall affiliation and all, I just think she's cool because she's just like a straight out archer. Just a cool bow wielding character. And I love that skin. Let's talk about Spurt next. Since we just touched on him being associated with Critical Role, technically. So Spurt is a lawful evil, and I think he was our first lawful evil character. Kobold Inventor, which is to say he's really a rogue, as far as Idle Champions is concerned, who is a support character. Spurt the Kobold Inventor is crafty and quick with his hands. He builds improvised weapons in the hope of gaining some new advantage in combat. Spurt never knew he would have such lasting appeal when he met a mighty group of adventurers in a cave, but here we are. Packed to the gills with his awesome inventions, this clever kobold brings his 11 days of life experiences to the champions, along with a really cool centipult. Yeah. Spurt is lovely. Let's watch the hammer come down right now. Oh, no! The familiar's advanced before it could actually trigger. Okay, well, he still turned into his ghost form, which is good. So, right now, Spurt is in his ghost form, which happens when you use his ultimate. He becomes Spurt's spirit. And we'll talk like why that's important in a second. So going through his abilities, he begins with Centipede Net, which just increases the damage of adjacent champions. Great. Which is buffed by an additional 10% for every 10 seconds up to 30 stacks while Spurt is a spirit. Spurt is unique in that his ultimate cooldown item actually increases the cooldown on his ultimate instead of decreasing it, because you want him to stay in his spirit form as long as possible, and he reverts to his flesh and blood form, like when it has run out. Next is Waspiration. Whenever Spirit attacks an enemy, wasps swarm that enemy until they are killed. When 4 wasped enemies are killed, Spirit invents a random effect for 60 seconds. Each effect can stack up to 5 times, with each stack expiring separately. Champions adjacent to Spirit also generate wasp swarms, while Spirit is a spirit. So again, another reason why you want Spirit to be in a spirit, so you can get those wasp swarms out more often. Heroic Sacrifice is his ultimate. You dead. When Spirit uses his ultimate, he becomes Spirit Spirit until his ultimate is 10 seconds from cooling down. While he's a spirit, he increases the party's damage and buffs his other formation abilities in unique ways, like we've talked about for his Centipede Net and his Waspiration. Then he has Pack Tactics, which increase the damage of all champions by 200% for every Kobold information, including Spirit, buffed by an extra 100% for every other Kobold information, while Spirit is a spirit. Okay. There you go. Ugh. Oh, the boss is backwards again. Well, thanks for taking it easy on us once more, Beliaril Tavabent. Inevitable Betrayal, the Drow Matriarch. Raven's voice. The only good thing about fully shiny Delana is she can't grab any more shinies. I know, right? Like, I've got one more to go. Look, I'll show you my Delana here. Not you. You. My Delana needs just her slot 1. Ugh, just slot 1, and then I'm done. Done with Delana. She won't steal anymore. The shiny tax will have been paid in full. Saw a question up here. Smiley Jersey, not sure if you covered this already, Mars. What's your preferred DPS main for Strahd? Most of my information is built around Zorbu, but I don't have the feat to make him playable in Strahd. Well, I do! So he's mine. I've had the intelligence feat for Zorbu for months. So when Patron Strahd came out, I was ready. Yeah. You don't need to use Zorbu for everything. No. It's not like I'm only ever using Zorbu DPS. But when I'm really challenged, if I cannot beat a Patron variant, like for Strahd, with a different DPS, then yeah, I set up a Zorbu DPS formation, and that usually does the trick. He's just that strong. So he is my preference. When I really need to put in the work, it's Zorbu DPS. Oh, did you guys, were you guys here last week when I reached my goal of 50 average item level on every event champion? And then someone pointed out that I actually still need to do Kreidel, of course, because he just released. But if anyone's curious what my progress is so far, he's halfway there! Even during his own event, I already got him up to 24 average item levels. So I'm hoping that I'll be able to actually finish him before the next event rolls around. If I could just keep each champion as they're released going with that average item level 50 goal, then I'll be happy about that. RS Sub-02, is it best to complete Grand Tour of the Sword Coast or start to work through the Patron variant? I just unlocked the first Patron and complete either run. Grand Tour of the Sword Coast beat the campaign. No, you don't need to, like, finish the entire campaign before you start doing Patron stuff. Honestly, as soon as you have Patrons unlocked, I think you should start doing Patron stuff, because time gates. Each week, you can purchase a time gate piece. I'll do that now. from each patron. So if you have all 3 patrons unlocked, that's 3 time gate pieces. Oh, even this log is backwards. Wow. That is happening way more often than I thought it was. It's like as time goes on, it's getting worse. I kind of hate to see it go, though. Oh well, at least I get to enjoy it live on stream. Bring back the upside down birds. Damon Black, you've been using Frida DPS in your Strahd variants. I love Frida. She's one of my favorite characters in the game. Easily. She needs an update. I don't use her as often these days as I used to, but she is still my highest item level event champion. She's great. Zeke, I agree. That would be a lot less annoying. It is aggravating to have your familiars on specific ultimates be removed from their duties when that champion associated with that ultimate becomes stunned. It's just annoying. Like, you set up everything and you go AFK for a while, and you forget, like, oh, there's some kind of stunning boss or whatever in that adventure, and you come back and sit down and, oh, none of your familiars are on your ultimates anymore. Yeah, that can be aggravating. Crocus Maximus, when are they going to update characters like Ashara to include all the new races that they've added to be included in their buff abilities? I don't think they are. Or I wouldn't bet on it anyway. Ashara likes specific races, and that's just how it is. Perhaps there will be other champions released in the future that have mechanics that work with the other races that have been introduced since the time of Ashara. And perhaps even one day we'll get a Triton champion, so that part of Ashara's buff isn't wasted. At least, wait. Is it for Ashara or is it for Ishii? One of them mentions Tritons in their specializations. It's Ishii, thank you, Gar. Venison Bacon Bits, do you have any recommendations if we only want to buy time gate pieces for patrons every week? Yeah, just do some easy patron variants. There are resources you can look at in the community where people have put together lists of like the easy patron variants that you can do. Just so that you can get enough influence. It's quick, it's fast, you only have to do a few of them. In order to purchase the time gate pieces, and then to get your currency to get your time gate pieces, just do the free play grind. You can get 5,000 currency per patron just by doing free plays each week. So just do the free play grind. It only costs 2,500, so 2,500 currency to get a time gate piece from a patron. So that's just half of it. If you only care about getting the time gate pieces, then for each week that you do the full 5,000 grind for patron currency and the free plays, that's 2 weeks worth of time gate pieces. So you only have to do the grind every other week, thus, if that's all you care about. Okay, I actually want to take familiars off so we can more appreciate the like actual attack animations of the characters. Be able to watch Kreidel at work more easily here. I do appreciate the moonwalking barbarians. That's great. Yeah, and if you're wondering about where to go for patron grind, just do Mad Wizard. If you need undead, go to Running of the Sores. But otherwise, just go Mad Wizard and you can get pretty much anything you need from that. That's what I do. Whenever I need to grind patrons, I just do Mad Wizard over and over and over again. And you can set up specific formations for each patron for each campaign. So like I have a speed formation set up for every patron, every campaign. Constructs are also in Mad Wizard, yes. There's Constructs and Fiends. There's Fae. There's even some Humanoid. I think the only one you're missing from Mad Wizard is Undead. Which you can get by doing practically anything in Tomb of Annihilation. I like doing Running of the Sores because it has a fast spawning undead boss on increments of stage 50. The Z-Rex, as people call it. Hey, let's give Kreidel another item level. Or 2. Boop. Is he actually halfway now? Nope. Still one level off of being actually halfway there. That's fine. Hey, I haven't plugged the coloring sheets yet. I think someone in the chat mentioned that their child just found out about the coloring sheets. I lost where that was in the chat. Oh, there it is. Janub08. My son just freaked out about the coloring sheets. Thank you. Excellent. Good. Yeah, so we've been doing coloring sheets for a few weeks now. Guardian Entertainment has been releasing coloring sheets to the community with an incentive that, like, for every 100 coloring sheets that people do and submit the appropriate way, which is basically to put it up on social media using, like, appropriate tags, or put it in the fan art channel of the official Discord for Idle Champion. Anyway, then they will release chest codes to the community for every 100 that's submitted. With a bonus incentive each week for, like, doing a specific coloring sheet. And I actually don't know what it is for this week. I haven't looked. Does anyone know what the specific coloring sheet is for this week? Is there one? Let me know. Garwar, calling me out. Mars, thoughts on patron chores being changed to send you to complete specific named free plays out of the list of adventures you've completed? I like that. Yeah, I get tired of doing the Mad Wizard grind over and over. And there's a certain feeling of, like, that I have to. Because I have other things I'm doing in my life, of course. And the less time that I have to do my chores for the family, the more time I have for other things. So as much as I would like to just kind of make the choice myself to go to different adventures, and I do sometimes, if I really get the bug for it. If the game required that I went to different adventures, free plays, then I wouldn't feel like the burden of always having to do Mad Wizard just to save time. It would become like an exciting, happy thing. Like, oh man, it wants me to do Mad Wizard this time. Great, I get to go fast. Rather than just always doing Mad Wizard, and thus anything else feels slow. So yeah, I like the idea. I don't imagine that will happen, but a boy can dream. Black Wolf, a question. Where and how can you get Hitch? I bought the starter pack before I realized I would not get Hitch. Hey, I can answer this one easily. Go to your menu and click on newsletter and sign up for the newsletter. And then just wait. Like a day at the most. And they will just send you the code to unlock Hitch. It's the easiest champion to unlock. You can even get Hitch during your tutorial adventure, if you really wanted to. Question, other than Zorbio, are there other +1 int characters we should be looking at for Strahd patron levels? Gromma. Gromma's a big one. In my opinion, anyway. And they actually make that one very obvious. Because, it is... Where is it? Here. Keen Mind is the +1 intelligence feat for Gromma, unlocked from the Strahd patron shop. So, yeah. Celeste is another important one, yes. Dean Darkfire asking about the moonwalking. That's just some bug. I don't know why it's happening. I'm betting Sean does, because he said earlier that they do have a fix in the pipeline for that. So you can probably expect that to be fixed soon. Apparently they've already figured it out. Just enjoy it while we have it. I think it's wonderful, personally. I do wonder if they do stuff like this on purpose sometimes. Just to get us talking about it, you know? Just to give us something to smile about. I love it. Mela Aniane. Is it worth going to a time gate to do variants on champions already unlocked to farm for chests for getting missing gear? Yes. Always. Do your time gates. Many event champions are good right out of the gate. Like, good gearlessly. Like, they don't need any equipment. But even those are made better by having equipment. Usually. We have some niche cases like Narak, whose most useful function doesn't depend on his gear whatsoever. So up to you on whether you want to actually bother gearing up Narak. I gear up everybody. I play the game, I guess, like how C&E intends for someone to play the game, I suppose. New character comes out, I get them. I immediately start equipping them. Doing all the free play runs, all the variants, everything. I do my time gates. I put an equal amount of work into every single character. Liminal Shadow, who would you suggest for first time gate? Or prioritizing? Speed champions, tanks, and Kroll and Avron. Just kind of that whole pool of characters inside of that. Oh, Sean, that'd be so cool. Oh man, I'd love that. Oh no. Well, I can see the chat's freaking out. Alright, it says reconnection successful. I should be back now. Sorry. Sometimes we have technical issues here. Mars is down! Oh no! Yeah, no Twitch drops. Sorry. If and when that should ever happen again, I don't know if it would even be on my show or not. Did Mars have Strix in his group? Nah. I probably wouldn't include Strix in my, like, priorities for time gate group. For part of that being, like, Strix swaps with Avron. Avron is definitely an important one to pick up. Sorry for making you guys panic there with the disconnect. It happens. Internet is what it is. Strat Stouts, we had Twitch drops. There's the pop-up again. We had Twitch drops on, I think, the launch day. The Spring Extravaganza, like, special version 1.0, like, official launch day of Idle Champions. We have a big, like, front page of Twitch marathon of streams, which included myself and Garwar, and the official C&E stream. And it was, like, a whole awesome, fun day, like, 7 hours of streaming, and there were Twitch drops, which gave chests and a skin for Birdsong, and it was really cool. Then it happened again on a Penny Arcade stream for Green Flame Gem Dark Magic skin, which then also gives the Green Flame Mage Hand skin. You also had the Green Flame Click Damage skin, which is an interesting, like, way of unlocking things. Like, unlock X and unlock Y, and you get a bonus unlock Z. That's interesting. I'd like to see more of that, personally. Bonus unlockables. That'd be cool. But yeah, a lot of people had feelings on Twitch drops that have been discussed openly in many places in the community. I even left a comment on a Reddit thread that Silisa started. I want to like Twitch drops. I do. I think it's a really cool idea, but it needs some more, like, fine-tuning, some more, like, consideration. But just in general, I like the idea of it. Yeah, it's better than raffles. Better than the, like, exclamation mark and then some word or phrase or something. Like, exclamation mark raffle for, like, 500 messages in a row. Just obliterates chat. Makes it impossible to talk to people for several minutes. I hate that. That's really bothersome. I like talking to you guys. So, yeah, anything that reduces raffle spam is welcome in my eyes. So something I haven't asked you guys yet, that I tend to whenever we have events and I have my show going on. How's the event going? Who have you been focusing on? How far have you been able to reach in your event runs? Somebody came in earlier to say thank you to me and Garwar, and, like, with our advice, they were able to get past stage 400 for the first time in an event, which is awesome. Congrats again about that. I like hearing the progress that you guys are making as my fellow community members. Love you. Brick Frenzy, 500 for the first time this event. Nice! Congrats. Yeah, the Kreidel formation shape is rough. Look at how weird this is. I mean, I like it. I like that it's tough and it's a challenge. I appreciate it. But I'm not expecting to break any records with this formation shape. Oh, Sean reached 749. You're almost caught up to me, buddy! Death of 1, 790 is your new wall. Nice. Wow. Wow. Para 13, new to the game. Welcome to Idle Champions. Started 2 days before the event started, so I'm only on 133. That was my experience. I started just like 2 days before the very, very, very first ever event, which was for Stokey, the slot 4 monk swaps with Journal Axel. So I had no idea what I was doing, and I was lucky to even get to, like, stage 100. It was tough. I didn't know what I was doing. At the time, I think even back then, Silisa was already, like, a huge person in the community and was helping people. And so I relied on Silisa's advice a lot. What's my highest, like, 805 is my highest so far. So you people that are in like the upper 700s, you're catching up to me. I know at least a couple of people have been able to clear 900, not in this event, but just like in recent weeks and months, like this year at least. I know, I think 3 people come to mind who have been able to get to 900. But that sought after stage 1000, still no legitimate clear yet, as far as I know. I love Neris's ultimate. Just happened, like that giant explosion of like divine magic. That's so cool. I'm out of tea. Cheers. Still have coffee though. Is anyone here particularly familiar with Kreidel? Like, do you read the Legends of Baldur's Gate comics? Because those seem really good. I haven't purchased or read a comic book in a long time. I used to really like comic books when I was a kid, but yeah, they look really good. Every time I see like promotional art or like a single page taken out of context or something, it always looks amazing. Oh, Sean, Eric put I'm guessing you're saying like about the art that he got from that auction on Twitter. He put that up in the office. That's so cool. Man. I'm jealous of Eric sending you guys this really cool stuff lately, like the gelatinous cubes, and man, that's all that stuff is really cool. Yeah, please post the link in the chat so people can see it. It's a very good page, this like sweet battle scene. There it is. Yeah, check that out. Go appreciate the incredible artwork. I've done one more coloring page since the last show. I think just one more. No, I think a couple. I did Jarlaxle this morning. And I did a Frida a few days ago. I've been posting all of mine up on Twitter. Yeah, the Delena panel at the bottom of that when she just looks worried, like, yeah. That's something that I really appreciate about the art in that series, is that it's very expressive. Like, the emotions on the characters is palpable. Death of One, you want that fiend as a champion. The Bone Devil? You want a Bone Devil as a champion? I don't think that's gonna happen, buddy. I guess never say never, but boy, it's hard to imagine. I mean, the idea that maybe we could use some more evil champions, yeah. I love the good guys. I'm on team good guy, personally. The more heroes we get, the happier I am. But, yeah, we need villainous characters as well. We have several already, of course. And we've got our lovable anti-heroes, who are evil, but they get along with the good guys, like Charlaxle. But, yeah, we do need more, like, outright evil characters. Kroll, Archon. When are we gonna get Torgar, huh? Last member of our Dark Order. I hope that'll happen eventually. Hey, maybe Torgar will be like a Descendant to Avernus unlockable champion. That'd be cool. Because then it'd be like the trifecta of like Archon is a core champion, Kroll is an event champion, and then Torgar could be a non-core evergreen unlockable. Be like one from every category then. That'd be really neat. But I don't know. I feel like it's just as likely that we may get a different unlockable evergreen. Mars, thoughts on who the half-elf neutral druid coming in the next event is? Oh boy. I mean, I think I know for sure because I look into Well of spoilers. So I don't know. I feel like I can't actually talk about that because then that would just be like leaks, I suppose. Yeah, I'd love to theory craft, but I don't think I could do that without lying, because I think I actually just know. Yeah, no spoilers, sorry. I'm happy to spoil anything as long as I get approval from CNE. Like they'll let me do the announcing of of the official launch of the game. And that may have been one of the most exciting moments in my streaming career. That I was given that honor and privilege of announcing that to the world. Oh my gosh. That meant a lot to me. I appreciate that they trusted me with that bearing of the torch. Yeah. Oh, I love you guys too. I won't spoil things on my stream, but I will say that there are places you can go if you want to spoil it for yourself. There are resources out there. Just gotta know where to look. And that's all I'll say about it. Oh, here's the hammer. Boom! I love that. Hey, if anyone here is new, and you are not familiar with Spurt's backstory, there are some incredible animatics and animations on YouTube that you can watch that goes through the origin story of Spurt. What's the deal with the hammer? All of that. It all makes sense in context once you experience the beauty of Spurt for yourself. Yeah. Yeah, all 20 minutes of it. It's very short. Yeah, if you're already a Critical Role fan, then I'm sure you know. But if you're in that Venn diagram of someone who is new to Idle Champions and doesn't already know who Spurt is and where he's from, then if you fall in that center of that Venn diagram, go on YouTube and search like Critical Role Spurt animation and just pick something that looks good and watch it. Several artists have taken a shot at animating it, and it's glorious. I win! You did! Oh my gosh. Yeah. As played by Chris Perkins. The legend himself. And Spurt as a kobold inventor is just lifted straight out of the book. as a monster. Like, I don't think there are any changes to his stats or anything. Mighty Moyan, you can't get Archon to do any good. And you have all of his goodies. Well. Archon is... if you think about the game as like a puzzle, where placing champions down to make use of all their positional formation abilities is like different elements of that puzzle that you're trying to solve, then Archon and other characters like Artemis are a boss fight in that regard. Or like a final exam, you might say, for trying to understand formation abilities and positioning. Archon is very good. And for a good while, he was the king of DPS characters. And he's still, like, in the top list, I would say. But he's difficult to do right, until you get used to it. Essentially, if you're using his usurped power specialization, then you want to position Archon in such a way as that he is not receiving positional formation buffs, but that he is adjacent to characters that are receiving positional formation buffs. If you do that, then he can effectively steal those buffs and make them stronger for himself. If you'd like, I could even maybe go over that next week on my stream. Since it'll be an in-between events week. I don't know what the new content will be. There's almost always something new for me to show off, since that's the nature of my show here on Mars Guiding Hand. But I can possibly do some Archon formation and show off how to make use of him. And or Artemis. Possibly even together. Which is... oh boy. If each of them individually is a boss fight, then using them together is like a super boss. I wonder if we'll get another character that works like that can also be used alongside them and get really crazy with it. Mars, you should go over what to use Azaka for other than Gold Find. I don't really use Azaka for much of anything else other than Gold Find. I mean, she can buff, and she can DPS, but she only ever sees the light of day in my formations for gold, if I'm being honest. I do my Azaka farms like a good veteran player does, I suppose. Yeah, there is a variant that specifically buffs lycanthrope characters, but since there's only the one, which is Azaka, it doesn't really matter that much. Baby League 2000, just wondering, are you an Azaka fan? Just noticed Azaka has Guiding Hand too. That's where the name comes from! It took 16 episodes to get there before someone realized it. Or at least, until I noticed that someone in the chat realized it. When I was concepting names for my show, I actually asked the community to help me with building a list of all formation ability names on all characters. And I went through that list, I combed through that list and got like maybe 10 of them that I really liked, and then whittled that down, and eventually CNE and myself settled on Guiding Hand. Major Higgins, question, when you hit your wall with Azaka, how long do you run the farming? Anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes. Yeah. At the most, an hour. Never more than that. STW Jester is asking C&E Games if they could have a character in the game, what would it be and what would you have as your abilities? Well, they have several! There are actually several C&E original characters in the game already. Turiel, in my formation right now, is one of them. Perhaps you meant to address me with that question, since I'm streaming to the channel, but I know what my answer would be thoroughly. Garwar, Mars. People can vote right now on the name for my currently entitled Garwar stream on Fridays by going to the subreddit. There's a post there. Really? Oh, heck! That's awesome. Hey, Gar, could you send me a link to that so that I don't forget to check that? Because I'd love to. Like, send it to me on Discord, please. So I don't forget to do that. Thank you. That's a really fun idea, having the community vote on the name. Personally, if it just stays as Untitled Garwar stream, I think that'd be great. I think there's something kind of lovably ironic about that naming convention. It's like Untitled Goose Game, but for an Idle Champion stream. It's great. Hafi asks if patron buffs stack with favor buffs. Patron buffs stack with everything, yeah. And it is important to note that there's two different types of patron perks. There's local and global, which I don't think it really explains here. But local only applies if you currently have that patron active, like if you're doing a variant or free play for that patron, whereas global applies to everything, even when you are not actively working on that patron. Like if you're doing an event like I'm doing right now, all of the global effects are still applying to me even while I'm in this event. Patron perks are great. You want to get them. Duros Klav, who's a good character to unlock in the Jarlaxle spot. So Jarlaxle has a few different swaps. He's got Ishii, he's got Stokey, he's got Paulton, he's got Sentry. Sentry if you want speed. Sentry's Echo Resolution ability can reduce the number of quest requirements per stage by a percentage, which basically makes the game go faster when you're using Sentry. But other than that, I would say Stokey or Paulton. Right now, gut reaction Stokey. I would say Stokey is probably best in slot for pushing. Like if you just want like your best character for the slot. But Sentry if you want speed, which is equally, if not more important at times. Boo as a patron. That'd be adorable. Every perk just says squeak. No idea what it even does. It has some effect, but because you don't understand boo, it just says squeak. Blasphemer 2016. Can you gear an existing champion through time gates, or just get new champs? When you do a time gate, you always get gear for that champion. Like, when you complete the adventures, you will get a gold chest for that champion, and then you'll get a silver chest for that champion for every 100 stage that you clear per time gate. So, like, if my highest stage during a time gate is 700, then I will have received 7 silver chests for that time gate's champion. If I then did another run that went to like 300, I would not get 3 more. It has to be like, it's only once uniquely per time gate for every 100 stages. But yeah, you get plenty of gear by doing a time gate. Hikuin, chess code got you a Briv HP feat. Awesome. Fantastic. Enjoy that. Britt is a pretty cool tank. He's got a lot of survivability. And he doesn't care about your team's positioning. So he's just really easy to use alongside anyone you feel like using for your DPS or supports or whatever. Briv's easy to work with for positioning purposes, like Ayla. Boo will go for the eyes, therefore crit and enemy hit chance lowered. That's a good idea, Render One. I like that. You know, it's been a while. I still see people talking about Azaka in the chat here. It's been a while since I've done an Azaka DPS formation. Maybe I should do that sometime. Go like full Were Tiger mode and just tear things apart. That could be fun. Although last week I had people asking if I could try to purposefully set up my worst possible formation on the show sometime. I'm still not sure about that. That sounds like fun. I would I would need to caution people constantly throughout the show that I am purposefully playing everything wrong to show what not to do. Because I don't want people, like, mimicking me and learning incorrectly if I were to do something like that. Mo Memes. Any advice on progressing the first 3 areas past the 200-225 levels? Like Sword Coast, Tomb, and Waterdeep. I'm staggering at the 200 plus levels with my current hero formation. The grind is so long. Yeah, try mixing in some champions that do debuffs. Or, like, increase the damage against enemies. Like Catti, who I'm currently using, has her Mark for Death ability, which drastically increases the damage that enemies take when she hits them. Like, if she shoots something and it survives, it becomes marked by Catti, and then takes a huge amount of bonus damage from everyone else that attacks them. Stuff like that. So that's like Gromma using her Mountain or Arctic specialization, Ayla, and you almost always want to take her Stormcaller specialization. That's the right side specialization choice. Yeah, Total Wannabe says Kroll or Warden. I think for legal purposes, I can't actually change the name of my show, Fyron. But that is a cute idea. I like that. An unguiding hand. False hand. Don't do this. I don't know. I'll think about it. Maybe I'll talk to C&E about whether they think it might be a good idea or not. Mortonid. Ooh, I like this. Question, if you were invited to a D&D game and had to play a champion from Idle Champions, who would you like to play, and who would you never play? Alright, my obligatory first choice is a champion that doesn't actually exist in the game, Mars. The champion of my own creation that I've had for years now. He's in the rotation down below in the slideshow of character portraits that go by. But, thanks again for the shout-out, C&E. If I had to pick someone who actually exists, I'm going to limit myself to C&E original champions, because I don't want to step on any toes of any of the, like, creators of, like, lore or stream or podcast characters, like actual play characters or whatever. Turiel is super cool. I like Turiel a lot. I like Turiel. I like... I like Gromma, but I don't think I could, like, play Gromma well enough. Korth is awesome, but I don't want to play an evil character. Yeah. I might have to go Turiel. But then again, my personality, I don't think really matches with Turiel's own. It might be difficult for me to play as Turiel. Why not Warden? Warden's possibly the most evil character in the game, Sean! I'm very uncomfortable playing as Warden. So, yeah, Warden's probably my choice for the one I would not play as at all. I don't want to be in the same room as Warden, much less, like, play as them. Oh, there they are in the rotation. Ah! Down below. Go away, Warden. Get out of here. Okay, I'll take the Bush Goblin. That's better. I think Warden is exceptionally evil. Other than that, I don't know. I don't think we really have, like, a C&E original character yet who is, like, good aligned and, like, very, like, positive about things. If we had a character like that could, I guess, fit me the most. I can be comfortable role-playing anyone. I did roleplay an evil aligned character for like a 2-year campaign, and it was disturbing. There were parts of playing that character that like really made me uncomfortable, but I still got through it. Yeah, Drist isn't a C&E original character. Yeah, like Evelyn. I love Evelyn's personality. She's great. Evelyn is just a shining light. I love Evelyn. Yeah, but she's not a C&E original. I'm trying to limit myself to only those. Stokey is cool. She's always like scowling in her art. She's very serious and down to earth, from what I would assume about her. She's really cool. I like her design a lot. Yeah. Maybe I could do like a more upbeat Stokey. Crystal at Twitch, is there an actual visual aid for the champions done by you? Only have an old version. Yeah, just exclamation mark CBA. Thanks, Sean. That links to an album, and the latest version is always going to be at the bottom of that album, because I just keep things kind of in release order, so you can go back and like look at the history of the project if you ever feel like it. Patron visual aid. I don't think I have a command for that. Do you guys want that? People request the Champions visual aid often enough, but I don't see many requests for the Patrons visual aid. I do have a Patrons visual aid that I think is like equally as useful, but I don't know if that's something that people actually rely on very much. But yes, that also exists. Yeah, a PVA command, I suppose. I know, that's up to C&E. That's not my call to make. Garwar needs some love for commands, too. Okay, Michael kind of posted the link there, kind of getting around the Nightbot there. Anyway. We have a few minutes left. Garwar fired you, Sean. How did that happen? We have a few minutes left in the stream here, so if anyone has any more questions, or anything you just feel like talking about, this is going to be the last stream for this event, unless you count, you know, C&E stream tomorrow and Garwar stream the next day. Then, of course, you can get more the running year 3 goodness from those shows. Seberic asks who's going to get an emote next. Ooh boy. Yeah, I don't know. Natural log of 1. How are you doing, Mars? Oh man. Do I have to get real here? I have a headache today. I talked about that earlier. I love rainy days. It's my favorite kind of weather. But there's like a 50% chance on any day that it rains that I'm going to have a terrible headache, and it's going to impair my ability as like a creator and a performer. And today is one of those days, unfortunately. But I'm still here, still doing the thing. Even when it's a little more difficult than usual. You too, Sean? Yeah. I love rainy days. I love when it's overcast skies, the smell of the rain, the petrichor. It's good. It's real good. And I always, like, sleep better on rainy days. But, oh yeah, it really messes with my head sometimes. It's not actively raining right now, but it rained last night, so I woke up with a headache. And I've just had it all day. Yeah, everybody has these days. It's true. It's true. And thank you all for your sympathy. But I'll be fine. I was feeling like really weirdly lightheaded last night. Not really sure why about that, but I slept it off and I'm good now. Mo Memes, any characters you recommend picking up ASAP aside from Category? Well, get everyone from the event, first of all. If you've only picked up Category in this event, get Spurt, get Kreidel, regardless of like whether they're super good or not. Just get everyone eventually, because there's always going to be variants that restrict your champion options. So the more options you have to pick from, the better that'll be from you, ultimately. Anyway. But specific champions that I would say to watch out for: speed, tanks, Kroll and Averin. Prioritize those. If you haven't gotten Hitch from the newsletter, do that. And as far as evergreens go, Azaka, I think, might be the most important evergreen to unlock. She's halfway through the Tomb of Annihilation campaign. Oh gosh, Raven's voice. And Zorbu, which deserves the all caps that he was given there in that comment. Yes. Zorbu, one of the kings of DPS characters at the moment. Get Zorbu. How about a dark horse pick, Mars? Who do you really like using that doesn't typically top list? Hey, that's a great question. I appreciate that. Because my mentality is play the game to have fun. If fun for you is to play optimally, then cool. That's not necessarily what's fun for me. I like a challenge, and I like just keeping myself familiar with all the characters, which becomes progressively more difficult as we get more and more put into the game. But still doing okay so far. But who would I choose as a dark horse pick? Oh man, can I say Frida? Is that fair? Every week I have to plug Frida somehow. I just think she's so cool. I really like Turiel. I don't know how popular Turiel really is, but I really enjoy single tank formations. So anytime I get a 2 tank formation like this Kreidel formation, I put in Turiel because he can basically force it into a single tank formation by just taking anyone that would be targeting him, any enemies that target him, and just shoving them over to the other guy. Like, no. Go to the other person on the tank line. Thank you. Cool. Turiel, master of physical distancing. Yeah. How much do you have in Zorbu lifelong enemies? I showed it off earlier on stream, but I can show it again. It is not much compared to what other people have done. It's like E4, E5, E4, E3. And yet, even with these lowish numbers, Zorbu is still my best DPS. Well, I'm not sure about that, actually. The other day, I had a weird situation where Hitch was doing more damage than my Zorbu was. Like, in a Zorbu DPS formation that I'd set up. So I'm gonna have to do some more testing. There's maybe something weird going on. Maybe I haven't done, like, a proper Hitch DPS run yet since he got his rebalance update. But, yeah, I wonder about that. Zorbu's just gonna keep getting stronger the more kills he gets, of course. Oh, you're very welcome, Mo Memes. Pretty Little Flower and Ailey did have an ability that let her draw aggro in the past, but that was in the past. No longer does. Perhaps such a thing will come again one day, but not yet. Oh, hey, Sean! Thank you so much! We have a PVA command now. Fantastic. Okay, well, now the onus really is on me to keep that updated, too. Fantastic. Thanks. I really appreciate that. I have at least some small amount of pride about the visual aid resources that I make for the community, since people often say that they enjoy using them. Honestly, Pretty Little Flower, I don't know why that got removed. Well, Michael, I was going to keep it all updated anyway, but this just puts a little more pressure on me to do that. Yeah, honestly, Hitch is still an incredible DPS character, even if the game no longer believes that he's a DPS character. A visual aid guide is a series of guides that I create for the community. Like, Garwar and Silisa have text-based guides on lockdown. They are all over that. Like, I have a hard time coming up with ideas for guides to make that they haven't already done in a text format. But what I can do is make visual aids. So that's kind of my point of pride. Some people process information more easily by looking at pictures. Think like, I don't know, children's books, you know? Just lots and lots of pictures in those. It's kind of the same idea translated to Idle Champions resources. Some people process visual information more easily than textual. So that is what I provide. Gem spending VA win. Oh my gosh. I'm trying. It's so hard. I've gone through iterations of it. And I've just never been happy with any of it, and with, you know, the pandemic and all. It's Anyway, yeah, I'm also working on something with Garwar for basically our suggestions for how to spend gems optimally, I suppose you could say. Oh, Liminal Shadow, I have considered that, and every time I've like concepted how that might work, it breaks my brain to think about like the size of that monstrosity to make a visual aid for positional buff, because I would have to like show the diagrams of that. Pakoda does some really good work for that in the community, for making like specific visual aids showing different champions' formation abilities and how they function. They get posted up on Discord sometime. I don't know if there's a collection of them floating somewhere, but they're useful. Like, I didn't understand Keelik until Pakoda made one for him. Morton, that is changed already. It's the bottom one. You always, always, always go to the bottom. That's why I have the very first image in the album is my character of Mars saying, "Hey, scroll to the bottom for the newest version," so that it's obvious. Like, yes, go to the bottom and you will find the newest version. So in that version, it is Xander. What do I use to build those visual aids? GIMP. I'm just pretty darn good at using GIMP. Self-taught. Don't have Photoshop. Wish I did. Okay. A couple minutes left, so we've covered Kreidel today. We've covered Category. We've covered Spurt. And we've gotten far enough with this formation to, like, have qualified for any of the variants that we may have had to do. I mean, I've already cleared all the variants. These are all already checked off, but you get the idea. Like, we're past stage 200, so I'm pretty satisfied with Kreidel here. I mean, you can see my DPS is really Hitch is actually out DPSing Kreidel, apparently, even though I've set this up to be a Kreidel DPS for me. It's interesting. My DPS breakdown is showing that my Hitch DPS base is higher, but Kreidel's running average is higher. Anyway. I am going to have to do some experimenting with Hitch DPS. Or, I'm sorry, Mitch in my case, since I like to use the Mind Flayer skin. He's a cool character. And he's had like a roller coaster of a career. Hitch has. Used to be just plain awesome, always get Hitch because the other option was Delana and nobody wanted that. Yeah, Kreidel does have the spiritual weapon from Neris. So, like, Neris believes that Kreidel is my DPS here, which is what I wanted. And my DPS breakdown is saying that it's Hitch. My Bud says that it's Kreidel, though. Which is what really matters anyway. Yeah, poor Delana. Good luck to everyone with your The Running adventures. Good luck gearing up Kreidel and Caddybree and Spurt. How would you fix Delana? She just needs more bonuses, I think. Just bigger numbers. Justin needs to add more zeros. Like he said he would. Yeah. We're going to do our outro. And then I'll see you guys back on the Discord and other places. So, blah, blah. Thank you for joining me for this week's episode of Mars Guiding Hand. I hope to see you all again next week. It'll be May next time. Tune in tomorrow for the official C&E stream, and on Friday for both Griddle Champions, the best show on Twitch, and the as-yet untitled Garwar stream, which apparently there's going to be, or there is, a Reddit thread that Garwar mentioned in the chat here, where you could go vote for Garwar's stream title, which, that's a really fun idea. Yeah, I'm going to check that out. Don't miss those great shows. Remember, you can always follow Idle Champions on social media, and you can join our community on Discord, Reddit, and elsewhere. A lot of places. You can find me on Twitter, at Ryan Blake Hall, on twitch.tv/Storyteller Mars, and of course, I'm just everywhere in the Idle Champions community. You'll see me on Twitter and Reddit and Discord and all sorts of places. Wherever you are in the multiverse, please stay safe in these trying times. Be kind to yourself and to others, and I'll see you next time. Until then, look sharp!